Hello everyone! Today I will be telling you how you can start a Pokemon collection with less than $100. Now, you may think this is hard, you may think it isn't, but reality is it's not that difficult. All you have to do is know what you want. That's the only thing you need to know. And then you also need to budget, but that's for a separate video. I may include some stuff on that, but not right now. So, you've probably heard how to start a Pokemon card collection 100 million bajillion times from literally every single Pokemon YouTuber out there. You have heard it from big YouTubers, you've heard it from small YouTubers. I've heard it a lot recently because I've been restarting my collection and I wanted to know what everything I could do to start my new collection is. So I did some research and I decided, hey, why not make this a video? Because this is a Pokemon channel. It's a popular subject, especially with the market being as crazy as it is nowadays and more people searching Pokemon up on Google than ever before, which is really weird. So yeah, let's start with, how do you find out what you want? Like, that's a crazy subject. It seems nobody knows what they actually want until they do a bunch of research and spend a ton of money. It's not that hard though. So all you have to do is find out, do you want graded cards? Do you want one specific card? One specific Pokemon? Do you want just cool cards you like? Or do you want to start an entire set? This is a very important question because if you do not choose something that you want to do and stick to it, you're going to spend a lot of money, but you're going to spend a lot of money without actually knowing if you like what you're getting. So this is why I would recommend doing research. Do research on sets. Do research on different cards. Do research on card value. Just look through sets to find out which artworks you like. Because you're probably not just going to sit there reading the tags unless you actually play the TCG game, which personally I do not. I used to play TCG Pocket, but it got boring. Maybe I'll get back into it. Maybe I'll make a video about it. I don't know. So yeah. Or one other thing, you can go through specific cards. Cerebay.com, it shows you all of the different cards of one Pokemon. And so you can look through this and you can see what cards you like. Like this one, or maybe even this one. But most likely, you're probably gonna like that one if you're like me. So I would highly recommend doing all of that before you even think about buying anything. If you don't like anything that you're seeing, you can always find another hobby. And that's okay. Now that you've done some research and you've figured out what you want to collect, you can go one of two routes. You can either, one, just do it as a hobby, or two, do it as an entrepreneurial business. Most people do it as a hobby, but card shows would not exist if it couldn't be an entrepreneurial business too. That's why card shows exist, because both vendors and hobbyists get together to enjoy the same thing. That's what I like about Pokemon, because everybody can get into it, no matter how poor or how rich you are. Doesn't matter. Maybe you just got like a Maybe you just got like a pack. Maybe you are loaded and got 10 trillion, like paperboard. It doesn't matter what stage of this collection or this hobby you're in. You can always restart if you don't like it. You can always sell your cards for more money to buy cards you actually enjoy. That's what makes this hobby fun. And another thing that makes this hobby fun is actually talking to different people that enjoy the same hobby and making friends. This is a big one, okay? Make friends. Be outgoing. I can tell you how good this is going to help you in your Pokemon collection because it's just going to be amazing. You're going to have so many people to trade with on a first name basis, and you're going to actually get cards you want by trading cards that other people want to those other people for and you may also get a little bit of bonus because you're good friends. Okay, now that you know all that, how do I get money for this hobby? What I would do is I would collect a bunch of change that I got. And I would put them in jars. I have a different jar that has rolled coins, and then I bring those to the bank, and then I get more money to spend Pokemon cards on. This is really good if you're low on cash. Another good thing is if you're low on cash, buy singles. Buy single. Do not, and I repeat, do not buy packs if you are low on cash. This is going to be insanely helpful for you in the future. You know why? Because if you buy singles, you're buying cards that you like for probably less if you just tried to open packs for it. If you're a gambler, buy as many packs as you like. But if you're starting Master Set, buy packs because that's going to be way helpful than buying each individual card singularly. But if you aren't doing either of those, buy singles. And if you want graded cards, buy singles too, because if you buy singles and they're pre-graded, that's pretty good. And you can get a lot more money for buying singles because most singles are either near mint or lightly played. But that's all. That can be used as a hobby or as the business I was talking about. And then, so now that you know all that, let's see. How do I even get these cards? It's just so insane. I don't know where to start. How do I get them? Okay, there's 3 main ways you can get Pokemon cards. First, you can get them at MSRP. And these are usually for packs or collections that are sealed. That an MSRP is what the company recommends that the people that the like Target or Walmart, what they charge. So Pokemon tells Target or hey, sell this for $5. 2 is at retail value. This will either be more expensive or cheaper, depending on what it is. I would usually go for the cheaper sides, if you're just looking as a hobby. But you can go for more expensive if you find it. You really want it. 3, the third one, is just singles. That's the third one. The cards that you would get inside a pack as if you opened it, but you didn't. That's what that is. Now, there are 3 three main places you can get these at. One, big stores like Target, Walmart, Ace Hardware has them sometimes, Hobby Lobby, Michael's. You can get from all those places if you're lucky. The second one is at card shows or card stores. Card stores will usually host card shows sometimes, and there you can buy cards from both the card show and the card store, from vendors and the store. Now, these both will usually sell both sealed products and singles. But you're probably wondering, Bardane the Spider, what's the third way to get Pokemon cards? Now, what is the third place to get Pokemon cards? This is either Facebook Marketplace or OfferUp, eBay, any online stores. These are shipped directly to you sometimes. It depends. Sometimes you can get tracked with a bubble mailer, which is really helpful. And it's so much easier because you can actually get what you want without having to travel anywhere. The problem with this is you cannot use cash. So if you do not have a credit or debit card, or even a gift card, if you don't have any of those three things, you cannot do it unless you're doing Facebook Marketplace or OfferUp. Those two things, you go to the seller or the seller goes to you, and you might be able to pay with cash, but you will probably not be able to use credit or debit. That's why online stores is the most tricky, and why me personally, I would actually go to card shows and card stores, because that way, sometimes you can use credit and debit for the card shows, and you'll always be able to use credit, debit, and cash for the card store, which is really helpful. And then one more thing about card shows, you get to meet more people in the hobby, which is really helpful, as I explained earlier. Now, what are you going to do after you do all this research on what you want, budgeting? I would start with $100 or less. I started my first card show with $125. And you know how much I used? I used $70. I got 20 cards, 5 of them for my personal collection and 15 for my master set, for $70. That's $3.50 per card, which is really good. I didn't buy a single pack there either, which is also really good because I got the cards I wanted, each for less than an individual pack. That's what's so good about the hobby. Now that you know all of this stuff, Bardane, where do I find these card shows? There are websites that you can use to find all the card shows in your area that are coming up. All you have to do is have Wi-Fi and some type of internet using thing. Like maybe it's a Chromebook, maybe it's a laptop, a desktop, even a phone. Maybe even your Samsung smart fridge. You can use anything as long as it has Wi-Fi and it can search the internet to find these. Then all you have to do is go to those locations. It's pretty simple, honestly. And that's how I was able to get to my first 2 card shows. Soon to be 3, by the way, once I get some more money saved up. But that's not the point. Okay, now that I have all these cards, what do I do with them? Like, it's a lot more complex than it may seem. Because at first glance, it's like, just admire them. Look at them. They're so clean. But then you might be able to get them graded. And when you get them graded, it's two things. It's authenticated, it's a real card, and you can tell if it's lightly played, near mint, damaged, anything. It's super easy. It costs a little bit more. It costs like $25 per card. If you, like PSA, it costs $25 per card if you're actually shipping the card to them. That's without fees for actually shipping it. Or you can actually just give it to PSA themselves. They have stores. Or you could do it at events. Or you can do it through GameStop, which is pretty cheap, but they will upcharge you. I would highly recommend doing it through GameStop. So yeah. You might be asking, how do I grade my cards? So, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to grab semi-rigid card loaders. And then you're also going to put them in sleeves, and then you're going to put them in the card holders. Then you're either going to ship them, or you're going to give them to GameStop or your buddy, and they're going to ship them for most likely cheaper. Maybe more expensive if you get upcharged, but that's okay. You can handle it, I bet. You're watching Pokemon videos. So now that you've spent a good bit of money on Pokemon card packs, you may be thinking, what do I do with the bulk? This is where I keep all my bulk. You want to see? This is all my bulk. Almost all of it. I have another huge tote of bulk. So you can put ultra rares that you don't want. I have it set ultra rares, then hollows, then normal cards. There should be, these are the regular hollows. Then these are the reverse. Then these are normal cards. And that's how I separate my bulk. And then you can sell it to different stores sometimes to make either cash, get it to your PayPal or Zelle or Venmo or something, or you could get store credit, which is what most places usually do. And this is really helpful. This is a lot more helpful than you think. Because like oh my gosh, it's really helpful because you can spend more money on stuff you want for giving away the cards that you don't want. Yeah. And that's what you do with the bulk. So I don't know what else to go. I'm going to be completely honest. I have no idea what else to go over. So I'll just go over one more thing. Okay, you may wonder what that last thing is, and I know you are. I have decided the last thing I'm going to go over is why. Why you should start your Pokemon collection this year, as soon as possible. It's because this is a very profitable hobby. If you want to quit the hobby, you can just sell all your cards and probably get a few $100. Now, I know one person who actually sold his entire Magic the Gathering set, his entire Magic the Gathering cards for about $450. He didn't know it was worth a lot more. And that's why you should go through all of your cards individually before selling them. And then, another reason why would I even bother doing all this? it's such a time restraint. I could have been doing more productive things. So, this hobby is so that you can have fun. That's the main thing with this. Have fun, enjoy the cards that you've gotten, and look back and say, wow, I really like what I've been doing. It doesn't always have to be about what you could do better. This hobby is so that people like you can have fun doing what they want to do, collecting what they want to collect. That's why I love this hobby, and that's why you should too. Thank you, and I will see you in the next one.